So much was happening behind the scenes on February 1, when the Los Angeles Lakers' stunning trade for Luka Doncic was being consummated, that it was easy to miss what actually happened in the game that night. The Lakers had defeated the Knicks 128-112 at Madison Square Garden behind a stout defensive effort, without their best defensive player, Anthony Davis. The box score offered clues at how they'd done it. Knicks stars Jalen Brunson, 16 points on 7 for 18 shooting, and Karl-Anthony Towns, 17 on 3 for 12 shooting, had off nights, while role players such as Josh Hart, 26 on 11 for 16 shooting, picked up the slack. The next game, a 122-97 win over the Clippers, offered more evidence. James Harden shot 2 for 12 with just 7 points. Kawhi Leonard went 4 for 11 for 11 points. Then came a 120-112 win over the Warriors, in which Stephen Curry finished with 37, but was an atrocious 6 for 20 from behind the three-point arc. It was over the next 4 weeks, during a stretch in which the Lakers won 13 of 15 games and rocketed up the Western Conference standings, that coaches and scouts around the league began to examine that win over the Knicks for clues as to what the Lakers had been doing. They'd gone from the league's 20th best defense over the first 3 months of the season to first. How did a team without its best defensive players hold Brunson and Towns to a combined 30% shooting? What about Harden and Leonard? Curry? Were these just bad nights? Or had the Lakers, with traditionally small lineups, concocted some sort of non-traditional scheme that could stifle the NBA's biggest stars? ESPN analyst Kendrick Perkins posited that LA was simply conceding the three-point shot and daring teams to shoot themselves out of games. Others pointed to the defensive play of Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent. One scout told ESPN, simply, "I think they're just playing really hard." No one was wrong, but no one had come up with an explanation that fully captured why the Lakers were shutting teams down without their 2 best defenders. And perhaps most importantly, no one knew either if what the Lakers were doing would work when it matters most, with an NBA championship on the line. It was around this time that former Duke coach Mike Krzyzewski sent a text to his former player, first-year Lakers head coach J.J. Redick, to check on him. Krzyzewski had always watched NBA games, but he'd been paying especially close attention to the Lakers this season. "I reached out to him and said, 'Who the hell would have predicted you could teach defense?'" Krzyzewski joked. Redick won a Player of the Year award at Duke, but early in his NBA career, defense, or his lack thereof, had kept the sharpshooting Redick off the floor at times. Eventually, he improved enough to play meaningful minutes for the Clippers, Philadelphia 76ers, and New Orleans Pelicans. "What they're doing seems very simple," Krzyzewski told ESPN, "but it's actually a lot of preparation. They make it where the other team's lower percentage shooters are taking more shots. It might sound simple. Make it hard for the other team's best players to score while encouraging less dangerous shooters. But the Lakers' scheme is far more complicated than that, and it was born out of off-season analysis by Redick and his staff on how NBA defenses are allowed to play by referees against modern space and shoot NBA offenses. Even with a brilliant individual defender such as Davis, who is as good of a rim protector as there is in the league, it's virtually impossible to slow down the modern NBA superstar in pick-and-roll actions in space because of how much three-point shooting is emphasized. Most teams focus on acquiring perimeter defenders to at least slow down superstars before they meet a backline defender like Davis. But with the way referees call hand-checking fouls now, even that is difficult. The Lakers came into the season with another problem: 2 weak one-on-one perimeter defenders as their starting guards in D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reeves. So they developed a defensive scheme to mitigate that vulnerability and save Davis from an exhausting amount of work as a backline defender. The Lakers, the thinking went, would create the illusion of a crowded floor for the ball handler rather than funnel everyone to Davis. It worked in spurts during the first half of the season. But the Lakers' defensive scheme stiffened once Lay traded for Finney-Smith in late December, and he became a bigger part of the rotation a few weeks later.